Hey, it's Berta J, and I'm cutting up some onions for what we're going to make today. This recipe has a lot of ingredients, and it may seem there's a lot of work to do, but I tell you at the end you will be glad you made it because it is really, really delicious. There's more. I usually just do real quick, simple, but this one makes a lot, and you will be able to enjoy it for a longer period of time, and it freezes well. Okay? Butternut squash stew. Now, I know you may think, stew for Thanksgiving? Well, when you're a vegan, stews are really good as a main part of your meal. And this one's going to be very hearty, and it's nice and thick, and it's really nice. If you like more of a soup, then all you'd have to do is add more vegetable broth. But I'm cutting up the onions, one medium-sized onion, and this is one garlic. In your saucepan, you're going to put 1 cup of vegetable broth into your saucepan. Bring it to the boil. Once the vegetable broth, the cup of vegetable broth comes to the boil, you're going to add the chopped garlic and the chopped onion and let it cook for 4 minutes. Okay, so I'm finished with cooking it for 4 minutes. What I want you to remember when you're doing soup or anything that you've brought a liquid up to a boil and you put something cold in it, like we put the cold onions and garlic, you want to wait till it comes back up to a boil again and then start timing it, whatever the recipe or whatever you decide. Start timing it from that. So it was when it came back to the second boil, that's when I started timing it for 4 minutes. The next thing you do with this onion and garlic just boiled mixture, you're going to put in 3 cups of cubed, see that? Nice little cube. Cubes of, they're not all perfect like that. This one's kind of weird looking. But you put in 3 cups of this. And then take the cubed potatoes, either 2 medium, 3 small, cut them up into cubes, just like the butternut squash. And this is equal to 2 cups of cubed potatoes. So if you get really small potatoes, just make sure you get 2 cups of it, okay? Into it goes. Now, what you do after that is just stir this mixture so that your onions and garlic mixture gets all over your squash and your potatoes. Like that. You don't want it all glumped up, the root vegetables that have been cooked all at the bottom. You want them to be dispersed among the squash and potatoes, like this. See that? So they're all kind of hugging on one another. Next thing, that's after you mix all of that together, you're going to start with all these things that are on the table. 3 cups of vegetable broth. Now, the best way, I've made this recipe several times, and what I find is if you do 4 cups of vegetable broth, you just pour off 1 cup when you do your onions and garlic, and then you have 3 cups left. That's what you need next. So I'm putting in 3 cups of vegetable broth. And the tomatoes. Now, there are different kinds of diced tomatoes. Just get a can of diced tomatoes, but the one for this recipe that makes it taste just so absolutely delicious is fire roasted. So find some fire roasted tomatoes and put that can with the juice in it. Don't drain it. Put the juice, the tomatoes, everything right in. You're going to put in all of these spices. Now, I wrote them down so that you get them. You get them right. You're going to do 3/4 of a teaspoon of oregano, 1/2 teaspoon of basil, 1 full tablespoon of parsley flakes, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then there's 2 different peppers that I used. I used 14 turns of black pepper, and then I just used 1/8 teaspoon of the cayenne pepper, and put both of those in. Okay, and when you eat this soup, what you will find after it's all done is that there's a little kick at the end. Not much, because I like a little kick, but not much. It's just going to come back after you've chewed and swallowed. So that's what that's going to do. And you stir this up, and then it goes back on the stove to cook for 20 minutes. And by that time, your squash and potatoes will be really done. And then you still have a couple more things to do. Okay, so it's finished cooking for 20 minutes. This is what it looks like. Still simmering a little bit. Now you're going to put in 1 can of slightly mashed chickpeas, and this is what they'll look like. There'll be some whole ones in there and some that are mashed. I've made this several times, like I said, and I found out that just mashing them a little bit gives it a better texture than having a whole chickpea in your mouth. It's up to you to decide whether you want to slightly mash or just keep them whole. But anyway, these chickpeas have been drained and mashed slightly. And you put a whole can in. Now, here's the ingredient that I don't know if everybody can use, but it gives it a wonderful taste. And it's 4 teaspoons of peanut butter. My favorite peanut butter is chunky. You can use smooth, but 4 teaspoons of it. And you're also going to put that in. If you, of course, are allergic to nuts or nut butters and things like that, then don't put this in. Once you've done that, you're going to stir it in well. Just let it continue to simmer for another 8 minutes, and then it's done. And I'm going to let this cook for another 8 minutes, and then I'll show you what it's going to look like. Okay, so it's finished cooking the extra 8 minutes, and this, I put a bowl together, and that is what it looks like. And I'll get a spoon so you can see how thick it is. It could be a side, or it could be the main part of your meal. If you put that on your plate, it's not going to go anywhere because it's so thick. What I think is a good idea is to put something green on the top. You could either chop spinach or your favorite green and just slightly put some on the top. I like scallions, green onions. That's what I put on mine. You are all finished. And you have a nice Berta butternut squash stew. I pray that you will give this a try because it takes a while, but it's worth every minute that you spend. Set aside some time and try it. And if you do it long before Thanksgiving or Christmas, it's okay. It stores well in the freezer, like I said before. Just bring it out and let it sit. Don't try and dig it, because it's so hard. Don't try and force it to thaw. Just let it sit and it'll be fine. Store it in the refrigerator. It lasts for quite a while, a few weeks. And I enjoy it. I hope you will too. I don't know how to describe it. It's just a really nice, pleasant taste with the butternut squash and potatoes and tomatoes and all of that. So until next time, don't forget to subscribe, click on the bell so that every time we upload a new video, you will get the notification. And please let me know if you get a chance to make it and if you like it. And if it's, I don't know, let me know if it's too long. I just know that I really love soup, and some of my soups do take a while, but they are well worth it. Okay? So until next time, from my kitchen to your kitchen, troopers, bye for now.